So first of all, I'm really really sorry about the quality of the audio. I don't know why I can't make it work with my old microphone. So for now, I will record this way. So let's start. I will do the doll from Chang'e, from the movie Over the Moon of Glen Keane, that it's now streaming on Netflix. So the dolls were made by Mattel, and right now what I'm doing is removing some of the paint with 100% acetone. I always advise the 100% because you will take so much time removing the paint. In this case, I just removed part of it, not the whole. So it's a very easy tutorial. It's just retouch what you have and erase what I think it's a problem. Here I'm adding the yellow part from almost all over the lid because the shadow that she have is like an ombre and it goes from yellow to red. So I like to do like the base of the lighter color, so then I can layer with a darker one. Then I'm doing the red one on the edges. It's important because I wanted to have the shape of the eyeshadow because it goes way farther than the eyebrow. Here I'm doing the shape of the lips. In this case, I'm repainting over the original lip. I mean, you can remove it, but I think it's very good for reference to have one shape and to know what doesn't work with that shape. It's my thing in this case. So right now I'm retouching the shadow. In this case, what I realized is that blending the yellow and the red would be very hard. I could be start mixing, but the paint that I use, it's acrylic paint, and it's very easy to dry and it's very fast, and it's something I really like, but for blending it's very bad. So I added the orange color and I did all the ombre. So here I lost the footage sadly for the black I used for the eyeliner. Someone called and stopped recording and I forgot totally that it stops. So here I'm adding some like the edges of the hair for the front, and I'm trying to find ways to work with the hair of the doll with the plastic hair that it comes with. It's kind of confusing because the original one has like a lot of fringe. It's like a big bulk, but I tried to work with it. Now it's more about retouching. It's something I do a lot. It's like sewing. If you saw some of my tutorials, you can see that I sew and sew, sew and sew, and just retouching. And with the paint, it's the same. I do the basics, and then I see that the eye maybe should be lower or should have a little bit more of liner. Here I realized that the iris from the doll, it was so big like most dolls, so I worked with the white from the sides. Here I was thinking a lot how to work with the face. I wasn't really sure how to do it, so I did a little bit more of shadow under the nose because the doll has more like a hooded, I don't know if it's the word, but it goes more low, and in the movie it's a little bit more round. Here I'm adding the gloss that I use for the eyes and lips. And as for blush, I like to use pastels. I like to use a very dry brush to do the contouring or blush because it's a little bit more realistic like makeup. Here I'm adding eyelashes. I just bought some from AliExpress for dolls because I used to work with fake ones for humans and it was like very opaque. These are a little bit lighter and more natural. Maybe it's not the doll to do natural, but still. So I glue them with the glue for the lashes. In this case, I like to use real one because with water, it will fade easily. Same, retouch. And in this case, for the dress, I mean, I could try to do a new one, but in this case I think that as a base is good to work with. But the skirt only had 3 layers, and the original one have like many more. So because I had 2 dolls that one I will do with another dress, I used the layers from the other one and just glue them on the back. And I need to say it was very easy to do. I did it more for try, but it really worked. As you can see, it looks really good. And here it was the next day. I thought that I finished with the repaint, but I wasn't very happy because it was a face that it was a little bit more plain. And when Chang'e wears this dress, she is like very powerful singing, and I think the doll didn't have that. So in this case, what I'm doing is like retouching with my pajamas to have more like a bold expression, a little bit more lip on the top, a little bit more lip on the side, so it's more a side smile. And one of the hard parts with this doll is that I needed to change the eyebrows, but I don't know why this paint is really hard to take off. So in the end, what I needed to do it was with the acetone, and I don't know why, a pencil, to remove a little bit of the paint, and then adding the shape that I needed, that it's more like, it's what I said, it's more bold to do it. I changed a little bit of the shape of the eye, but it was like minor things. In this case, the biggest thing it was the change of the eyebrows and the lips. I'm adding a little bit more of hair on the front because she has like that like round thing with the hair, but I opted for something a little bit more like a toupee, so I liked to do the shape as a root. So what I said, a little bit more side smile, because it's that kind of bold face that she have. Even in the end result, it's not that bold, but I like to have a doll that can be a little bit more for different moments and not just one face from one particular scene. I realized that my lip was, the lower one was too big, so I did it a little bit smaller. It's what I said, it's a lot of checking, a lot of check photos of the actual character to see what doesn't work. My advice always when you try to do this is research a lot. Like with the clothing, same, for the face, same. Here I'm cutting drastically the hair, and it really worked because she have like a very huge updo, and that's it. It's just retouching, and here you have your Chang'e doll. It's what I said, in this case it was more like a retouch than a whole repaint, and I think that for beginners it's a kind of repaint that would be much easier for you. I mean, you can try to erase all the paint and then start all over, and it will look very good, but I think would be easier for you, well, and for me, to do it this way. So I encourage you to do it. And if you like this kind of content, even though this video was a little bit shorter, you can subscribe, thumbs up, and you can ask whatever you want on the comments that I'm reading, and if I can, I will try to do it. So see you in the next one.